Okay, so we're going to get started. We have to make the blinis first. So first of all, we're going to bring the cream and the milk to the boil. Well, we're just going to scald it, which means just bring them to the near boil. And we've got about 50 mils of each in the saucepan. Meanwhile, we take our mashed potato and we're going to add in the beaten egg and the flour, which we've pre-sieved. So we've brought that to the boil. I'm just going to pour that in. Just turn the bowl and stir at the same time so you don't end up wearing the hot mixture all over the place. And then the egg white, which is going to give us extra lift in the dish so they're not too heavy. Take a spoon and just scoop. And then just fold the egg white through without trying to bang out too much of the air. So maybe just half an hour in the fridge will just help to stiffen the mixture up while we're working on the pesto. So the next trick is to make the red pesto. There's about a dozen sun-dried tomatoes in there. If you have a bit of the oil left over, that you get them in the jar, put a little bit of the oil into the pesto as well. It tastes great. And then some capsicums, which we've just roasted and removed the skin, and put that in. And then we're going to put in some toasted sliced almonds and some garlic. A little bit of oil just to start it off. So we've got about a quarter of a cup of oil that'll actually go into the pesto. So just give it a bit of a blend. Just turn her up. Okay, so at this stage, we then start to look at adding the herbs and the parmesan. We're going to throw the rest of the oil in. And some of the herbs. Until we've got a nice chunky paste. And then we just put our parmesan in just to blitz it in. And there we go, nice and chunky. We'll just leave that out at room temperature. Okay, so now that the pesto is made, we're now going to look at making the blinis. And of course, they've been in the fridge for the last 20 minutes, so they'll be nice and stiff. We'll just go and get it. I'm just going to take some olive oil. And you want enough just to cover the bottom of the non-stick pan. I'm just going to put in some droplets of blini straight down. Okay, and they cook fairly quickly, so they're just like a pikelet really. And turn them on, look at that, fantastic. At this stage as they're cooking, I'm just going to crack a little bit of sea salt over the top while they're really warm to absorb the flavour. And that's us, pretty easy to do. Right now, so we go on to the part of using the silver beet and the buttered mushrooms. We just want to add a nice vegetable component into the dish, and so it's complete. So we're going to do that. The only thing is, this white stuff doesn't taste great, so what we're going to do is just remove that, which we've done here. And then just the same as you would with spinach, you just put a few pieces on top of each other and just roll it up. And then just shred it. Okay, and some buttered mushrooms. So we've probably got like a couple of cups of buttered mushrooms or so. Okay, so we're just going to add some olive oil to the pan. And some salt and some pepper. Okay, so they're still slightly firm. We're just going to lob in this silver beet. And just to speed this process up, I'm just going to add a little bit of water there to create a bit of steam. Right, we'll just turn the heat down, we'll just let that sit, and we're ready to plate. I'm going to take some of the Regal smoked salmon, which is a natural source of omega-3, so it's great for the brain upstairs. And that's what we're going to use here. Main thing is to make sure that it's out at room temperature. There's something sort of I bang on about it quite a lot, but the reason is it's a lot easier to work with and allows the flavours of this product to really come through, which is important because at the end of the day, we're having a smoked salmon dish. And we've also taken some of Regal's salmon caviar. And it's a beautiful thing to have just there, little pops of salt bursts on the tongue as you eat the dish. So we'll take our little blinis and just arrange them on the dish, and some of the mushrooms and silver beet. And then the next trick is to take a little bit of our red pesto and just put a little bit on to start off with, just on top here like that. And then with the salmon, you just fold it up into little parcels, and then just to give it that regal look, we're just going to add a little bit of the salmon eggs. And there we go, it's really easy, and you can see why this dish will be great as a canapé, just in smaller versions. It's a beautiful dish and I know you will enjoy eating it.